All right, the next type of reaction is called a synthesis reaction. All right, do you know the word synthesis, or maybe synthesize or synthetic? Like, do those words make you think of anything? So, you're thinking about like man-made or made or produced. That is a good way to think about what a synthesis reaction is. All right, but let's talk about their properties and practice some balancing with these. So, synthesis reactions are going to take two simple compounds and synthesize them or make them into one more complex compound. All right, so this doesn't have the strict chemical requirements that combustion reactions had. You can pretty much put any two elements here and then combine them together into a single compound as your product. All right, so like you can do magnesium and oxygen and make magnesium oxide. You could do carbon and oxygen and make carbon monoxide, or maybe carbon dioxide. All right, so this has a very, very basic formula where these letters can represent multitudes of different possible element combinations. All right, so I recommend writing this down as just like a basic format to help you remember how to look for a synthesis reaction. So let's practice looking for these synthesis reactions. So we're looking for kind of two smaller things that combine into one more complex compound. All right? So one thing I can do is I'm going to have two reactants. That is one way you can think about this. You have to have a plus sign in there. There's got to be two things you're combining. So right off the bat, I can cancel out A. All right? Now the rest of these, well, they all have two reactants, so I can't use that to help me narrow it down any further. But now I can sit there and I'm like, oh, but they should only have one product, a product that is made out of those two reactants. All right? So that's going to help me narrow this down a little bit further. There's two products here and two products there, so that's not synthesis. And then if I look at this, I've got hydrogen plus chlorine making hydrogen and chlorine combined together. There's my synthesis. You try the next one. Which of these reactions is your synthesis reaction? All right, the only one that is two reactants combining to make one product is D. All right. Sometimes they can be even a little bit more complicated than we saw in this last one here, but this is still a synthesis reaction because you've got two reactants combining into one product. All right, but let's balance this. So we've got Ca, O, and H. And then over here, I'm going to do the same thing, Ca, O, H. All right. Now, the reason why I didn't keep my OHs together is because they're only combined in this format in the products. So, and especially I've got oxygen in two different spots over here, I want to make sure that I address oxygen on its own. So also thinking about that, since I've got oxygen in two different places in the reactants, do you think I should try to balance oxygen first or last? Last, just like our combustion reactions. All right, if you see something in two different chemicals, hold off on that one. Try to balance everything else first. So let's count up what we got. Got one calcium, got two oxygens, and I've got two hydrogens. On the other side, I've got one calcium. This 2 on the outside of parentheses goes into both of these. So that means there's two oxygens and two hydrogens. Am I balanced? Yeah. All right. You could, if it makes you feel confident, throw some 1s in here just to acknowledge that, hey, you know, yeah, I balanced this. This is good. Or, again, in chemistry, you're perfectly fine leaving off 1s. So, you try this one. This one definitely is not already balanced. But see if you can come up with the correct coefficients that would go out front. All right, so like say it should be 1, 3, 4 as your response. Write that. I'll give you a hint, that's not the right answer. But let me know what should go into these blanks. So if you need more time, pause the video. I'm gonna show you how to get it done too. Once I finish erasing. All right, so we've got magnesium and oxygen. We've got 1, 2, 1, 1. So my oxygens are not balanced. I need to produce 2 at least on the product side, so I'm going to put a 2 out there. That's going to balance my oxygens, but that's also going to double my magnesiums. So oxygen is good. Now, to fix magnesium, I throw a 2 out here so that I get 2 of those, and now I'm good. So if you said 2, 1, 2, you were right.